This is the Lois Wright Show once again, and I have a lot of guests here, and I will introduce them now. To my left here is Joyce Whitby, and then there is the famous. Your name went out of my head.
Writer.
Debbie Tuma.
Debbie Tuma, the famous Debbie Tuma out here. That you've seen her byline. You've seen her name in print very often, and in the New York City papers all around. She's a very talented journalist, and a native of Montauk. Your family lived here, so everybody knows Debbie Tuma. And then there's Amy Salle, who she's going to do a sort of little documentary about me. So she's here. And then, of course, Andrew Wargo. So we're all here now. And first, before we all start talking, I do want to, Debbie is going to mention that another well-known person out here, Paul Sidney, passed on. And Debbie knew him quite well, and everybody in the radio business has been saddened by his passing. You knew him quite well, didn't you, Debbie?
I did, yes. We were like, friends, and we were colleagues in the business, and I lived in Sag Harbor for about 18 years, and not far from where he lived. He used to live on Main Street. I used to live around the corner. I first met Paul in 1989 when I was working for the Sag Harbor Express, and LNG was celebrating their 25th anniversary at the time, and they had a big party. And I went over there to cover the party, and I met Paul. I had, of course, seen him around, but I didn't really know him that well. And I saw how influential the station was and how much fun they were having and celebrating this big anniversary. And it impressed me that they had all been there since 1964. And in this day and age, there's not many people who stay at a job for 20, 30, 40 years. And they all still work there, and they're all still getting along, and it was just like an amazing thing. So Paul is a hard person not to like because he was so bubbly and he was so excited about the business, and he had that contagious enthusiasm that he made everybody just really love the business and just see him everywhere.
I used to listen to that station. I didn't care for the music, though. But anyway, if there was, I liked him, but not the music. But anyway, he was marvelous when there was a hurricane.
Yeah.
Everybody was comforted by listening to, what's those call letters again?
32.1.
Yes, and Paul Sidney talking about any bad storm or anything, and he would just never, it didn't matter how long it took or anything. He was right there with the aspects of the storm. And then, so Debbie Tuma, I'm glad you came. And then Amy Salle, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm excited about the art show. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Oh,
At the
yes, I
National Arts
might as
Club.
well mention that again. At the National Arts Club in New York City at 15 Gramercy Park South, I'm having an exhibition. It's a one-man, it's a show. It's a party first on April 29th, and then after the April 29th, it's sort of quite an extraordinary party. You can come dressed as Little Edie. They'd like you to come dressed as Little Edie. That's men dressed as Little Edie too, and also Big Edie. And so that's going to be it's like the old Beaux-Arts ball. Thing. That's the what it is. I wondered how the spirits of Big and Little Edie would think about these people coming dressed as them. Was that against their spirit? Would that seem undignified? What?
They'd love it.
I love it. Yes, and I thought I wrote on the invitations, and that was mentioned, that I thought that Big and Little Edie would enjoy it and would definitely look on it as a Beaux-Arts party. So if you look on it in that aspect, it's all right.
I'm coming as Whiskers.
Yes, Wargo's going to be there as Whiskers.
But I think people, it's really said in character, so it really could be whatever character you want to play. It could be a raccoon.
Right.
It could be a rabbit from the garden. It's Grey Garden, so
But there's no one else.
Maybe a tree.
it could be a tree, you know.
There's no one else to come as except
No,
big and little Edie Beale.
Cartoon
Because it's the
What about
animals.
Lois Wright?
We could
Yes,
come as you.
I was trying to get that in, but I didn't get a chance.
That would be so funny if somebody came as Lois.
Yeah, isn't
And we
that
can't tell them
amazing?
apart. That would even be funnier.
And I can come, of course, as myself, so it's a very
Well,
relaxing
that's
for me
true.
at the party.
That's right. That's right.
And then the party lasts for, not the party, the exhibition of my paintings lasts for 10 days at
Beautiful.
the National Arts Club, and then 2 of them will become a permanent fixture there.
Which is a very, very, very big deal.
That is,
right.
the fixture, the always be there, the 2 paintings.
Little Edie
That-
wouldn't
that
believe
be-
it. She's going to be living on Gramercy Park for the rest of
Yeah.
Well, she liked my painting so much, and
saying,
so
but
did
she'll
Biggie.
be
There's
there.
2, the Frances Hayward,
Yes.
who, I want to mention Frances Hayward because if you're curious
Who lives at Grey Garden.
and you want to see my paintings, this is
you rent
you just tap in to www.thegallery.sagharbor.com. My name will come up right away,
Well,
and you can see all my paintings.
Yeah, this
Dance
is
paper.
in dance
Yeah, but this is in dance papers. This isn't in color, though.
Right.
And it's also a photograph of one of my paintings in the East Hampton Star, too, and some mention of me. So.
Also, you were on the radio Monday. Tell us about that.
Oh yes, on Bonnie Grice's show. You know, I always going to say Bonnie Bryce. I think if it was Bonnie Bryce, would it be English? And Bonnie Grice is Dutch, or they sound like 2 different countries. The name. So anyway, I like her very much, and she was on my show a couple of months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, we talked about Grey Gardens. It was she liked the show. She had it run longer
Right.
than usual.
Really. And also at your show, we're going to have this company's going to come that loves Grey Gardens. The man has a World Wide Web called Good News Broadcast, and when he shoots it, it goes to 100,000 people around the world of industry leaders, and he gets 1 million hits every week. That's every week he gets it. So he's going to come and tape the show for you, and send it out.
We're at the National Arts Club.
Good News Broadcast. I sent you the info on that. Terrific. He
good.
loved it. He said, not only do I know the film, I know all the Maisel Brothers films. They were wonderful. So he's very pleased.
Good.
Good stuff. Did you
And
want to,
just to remind everybody what we're talking about. The minute they see this, they'll know what we're talking
Grey
talking
Gardens.
about.
the original poster look,
The
right?
original poster.
Sorry.
So the movie comes out this on April 18th on HBO.
Yes.
Tell us about the
HBO.
party.
And Lois and I went to the party. We went to the screening in East Hampton of Grey
Right.
Gardens last weekend.
Where was it?
Yeah.
It was at a mansion in Wainscott. It was a beautiful big house owned by Brian Bantry, and they had 2 different screenings, I think a 5 and a 7. We went to the 7, and Ben Bradley was there.
Sally Quinn?
Sally Quinn.
And who else was there?
I guess
Well,
everyone.
Dick
Michael
Cavett.
Susi, the director, the writer, director, producer.
Andrew
different
Wargo,
producers.
Andrew Afram, and Kent
Ken Bartram, who did the research on the movie.
What about Dick Cavett?
He was over later at
Okay.
the party.
But he's seen the film, right?
He saw the screening, right? He did see the screening, but we saw him later at the party
Right.
over at Ben Bradley's house.
He said the makeup was so great. Tell us what he said.
Afterwards, about 100, there was about 100 people at each screening at the mansion over at Wainscott. Then there was a party, or a dinner party over at Grey Gardens.
Francis Hayward host.
And Frances Hayward rents the
host.
house. She was there.
host.
Ben Bradley and Sally Quinn, who come up in August and own the house.
They were there, though. Yes,
yeah.
I was amazed.
And they had like a buffet, and they had about 125 people squished into that house, partying and talking about the movie. So there was
Indoors, because
many
usually it's
celebrities.
outdoors. It was indoors.
All indoors.
A lot
It
of
was
people.
Many celebrities were there. Dick Cavett loved the movie. Dick Cavett from Montauk.
What did he
He
say? But the makeup, I love
couldn't
it.
believe how the makeup aged these women 40 years in the movie, both of them. And he said they deserve Academy Award or an Emmy
Oh, absolutely.
for
Jessica
that.
They
Lange
deserve
did a
a big
fabulous
award.
job. She really, I mean, on the coming attractions, just the makeup alone, she looks exactly like Big Edie.
Oh, yeah.
It's
She
amazing.
does.
And you saw it like Wednesday last week, right, in Manhattan?
I saw
screening.
it like, I went to HBO Studios
Yeah,
and saw
right,
the
right.
screening there.
And I thought, you've seen so much of Grey Gardens, I thought you'd be jaded. And then you called me and said, Andrew, it's a masterpiece.
It was a masterpiece. The
And you
movie
said it was a
made-
masterpiece too.
It is.
And I
In
thought
touch
you,
with
because you're always
genius.
very critical, which we love about you.
I can't
and
wait
for you
to
to
see
say
it.
that you loved it, I said, oh, I can't wait to hear what she's going to say. And you said, Andrew, it's unbelievable.
Touch with genius, I think.
Yeah.
Lois,
right?
since you lived at the house in the 70s and you knew these women and you, of all of us, really were there, knew them and you were there, what was your reaction to the movie when you saw it?
I just said it. To me, it was touch with genius. I thought it was remarkable.
And how much
of
they look
course,
like it,
Jessica
right?
Lange was so great that people are not going to compliment Drew Barrymore quite as much. But I mean, Drew Barrymore was good. No complaints. But Jessica Lange was like a reincarnation of Big Edie.
Right, it's so difficult.
Wow.
Amazing.
Fabulous.
And that house we were in for the old timers, that was originally owned by Herder, that painted Big Edie's portrait.
It's in the,
And that
in the
theater,
film.
That's in the movie too.
that theater part, well, is it? That theater part, it was his studio. That's in the movie?
No, not that part.
The portrait over the fireplaces in the movie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So Michael Susi, I was talking to him at the party, and he said they worked very, very hard on all the research for this movie. They spent 6 years doing the research
Wow.
to get everything accurate in the house. They recreated the house in Canada. Instead, it was cheaper to go to Canada and film the movie than to film it in East Hampton. So it was cheaper to go build a house in Canada than to use the house here in East
And you
Hampton.
said
He
how the
sent me a
costumes,
Christmas
the costumes you said are
card,
unbelievable.
and he was standing out in front
Right.
of the
Ah.
fake front,
That's right.
dressed like Little Edie. He had that fur coat on. It was a Christmas card, but on the back of it, you could see that it was all just plywood propped up,
Right.
the back of it, but the front of it looked just, like Grey Gardens.
And it starts when she's 18, right?
Yeah.
When
The
she's very
movie
young.
starts at at Little Edie's debutante ball in the city, and her father and mother are trying to marry her off because
Right.
in that day, the only way a woman could really get ahead was to get married. And Little Edie wanted to be more like her mother, who was a singer, and Little Edie wanted to act.
Right, right.
She didn't want to be like trapped in a marriage like her mother, never getting to do her talent.
Right, right.
So she would have nothing to do with all the men at the debutante ball.
No.
And she kind of wanted to strike out on her own and try Broadway, which
It was done so well. I
Yeah.
can't get over. I was very angry with Michael Succi about
Yes.
having my manuscript for 3 years and absorbing all the essence and the feelings of Inside Grey Gardens, and not being appreciated in any way for him having. And he wouldn't send the script back either.
No.
So, but the movie is so good that I just sort of look on it. I know the Beals would love it, and so it was so much work that he did, and it was such talent in it that I can't stay mad.
I don't blame
That's
you.
what you said to me yesterday when I spoke to you. You said you can't stay mad at him. all the work
And the
he
film, when it's been shown, Guido Fermenti used to write the critics, write the things out here in Dan's paper, who when I first came here, I met him.
Di Framene.
Guido Fermenti.
Guido Framene.
Right, and he said in one of his articles, I look back on them like from 2002, and he was saying how when you look at these women, you must realize that we're only seeing 6 weeks of their life, a slice of their life, and they've
Right.
lived a very interesting life.
Right.
He said, which one day should be examined. Who knew that it would happen, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
And he said, so you may have to write your own script in your own mind. He said, but if anybody ever does, this may be the makings of a Tennessee Williams story, which
Well,
it is, right?
It certainly is superior to the musical.
Isn't that a great
It's just
prediction?
not
What I don't
comparison.
understand is
Whoa.
why
Well,
did
He
they
passed
put
away.
it on
and,
HBO? Why
that's
didn't they
I'm
make a
going, wow,
movie?
talk about
I know.
insight.
Money, I guess.
I don't get
Good
that.
stuff.
Maybe it'll go to the big screen after this or something.
I don't know why they couldn't raise enough money.
What I liked about it was we know the Maisel, we know the Maisel
Brothers.
and what I liked about it was they showed, it was like a movie inside a movie because they showed the Maisel brothers coming there in 1973 was when they first came and shot the two women. But the Maisel brothers only captured 6 weeks of their life when they were older, I think 56 and 77, the mother and the daughter. So they captured that summer of 73, and then the movie came out in 76. And whereas this movie spans 40 years of their life and
Right.
starts at the beginning, so you really see how they went from riches to rags, is what they say. They went from that. And then also, let's talk about how Jackie Kennedy was portrayed in the movie. Jean Triplehorn, the actress.
That was marvelous.
Yeah.
That one brief scene, and Edie said to her, "If I had married Joe."
I'd be the first lady now.
Yeah, that's what she said to Jacqueline.
The son that died during the war.
But what's interesting about it is that
Kennedy.
Jacqueline looked at her very seriously, and she said, "I wish you had."
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And I thought,
That's in the film?
yes, that is fascinating. It's so much different
Whoa,
type
what a
drama. You
line.
could make a movie about that one comment.
Huh.
I usually
good
don't.
nibbles on that one.
I know. I usually don't
I
like
wish
to
you
mention it
had.
because you don't want to give
why?
anything away. But
She has a lot.
I mentioned it today. I'm not going to mention it again because
Right.
it is just
Well, you
wonderful.
have memories of her coming with John. You showed me a picture of you and Big Edie and Little Edie on the steps of the, right? And there's little John there and Caroline.
Yes.
So, and then the Secret Service would be there in the gardens, hiding in the gardens with their little glasses.
There's a great picture of Lois coming towards the house when the photographer took it.
oh, that picture is
Yeah, the one that
is
when
wonderful.
Yeah.
That Galata took that. What's his first name?
Ron.
Ron
Ron.
Galata. Yeah, he
Yes.
was the one that bothered Jacqueline all
You know,
the time.
Frances Hayward, who rents it 11 months a year, she always says, "I'm so glad I live in the Grey Gardens now before they make it into a museum." And it sounds like it's becoming more and more mystical as we talk, right?
Well, now that the movie's coming.
Also, I know the research, I was talking to your friend Kent Bartram, who you
Oh,
spent the day
yeah.
with, the research director, and he was saying that they just did so much research on, they had voice teachers to capture their accents.
Right.
They had in one scene, or throughout the movie, little Edie does 46 costume changes, and all the costumes were researched, all the voices, the mannerisms. So when you lived with them in the 70s, did you notice their mannerisms were accurate in the movie?
Yes, I absorbed it all. You know, I
Seemed a lot-
didn't see anything. I would have noticed if something was out of place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
and it seemed realistic.
Yes, so
Really realistic.
Right.
And the house
absolutely.
seemed realistic too.
Yes, it was.
Showed the cats. The
Oh,
raccoons.
but you knew them
Yeah.
long before that.
Oh, yeah,
long
for 30
before
years.
I went to live at Grey
Sure,
Gardens.
sure.
Oh, you did?
And then afterwards too. So it wasn't just 13 months living at Grey Gardens.
How did you get to know them? How did you
Through
meet
my
them?
mother.
Huh?
So I don't know where. You know, Uncle John, my great uncle, had this big summer place on Lily Pond Lane, on the ocean side there, and it wasn't far from Grey Gardens. So I mean, that's why we were one reason we were living in East Hampton. The
Amazing.
great
You
surgeon.
used to go to Main Beach way back then, huh?
No, I went to Georgia Beach.
Georgia Beach.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's
Good memory.
right there.
There's a picture
And
of
they were right around the
Did you
corner.
go to
Little
the
Edie
beach
and
with
Big
the
Edie
Did you
on
go to the beach
Georgia.
with Big Edie and Little Edie?
No, I didn't.
No.
No. Didn't. I was busy all the time.
Right.
I had all these projects I was doing.
In February, we went into town to hear Jessica Lange talk about having just finished Grey Gardens, remember? And the one thing she talked about was that the makeup, how towards the end of the movie, for, I don't know, 3 weeks, they had to get 5 hours a day in the chair, and they do all these things. She said, and at the end of those 5 hours, when they give you the mirror, and you look at yourself, and now you're 80, she said, if you don't have a spiritual awakening, remember, you're never going to have one.
That's right, that's right. 4 hours of makeup a day.
Tremendous.
Yeah, that's a
Tremendous,
lot of makeup.
right?
I
Yeah,
just
that
want
is.
to mention this book because it's the truth about Grey Gardens,
Yeah.
as well as the film we're talking about is, and that is this memorabilia
Walter Newkirk.
written by Walter Newkirk. Thank you. So it's very good. And then I can't resist mentioning my book, of course.
Of course.
So that's all. You can get it at Book Hampton or Amazon or all around, in any bookstore. They'll order it for you. Women got it in the West.
Like a diary. Is it?
My life at Grey Gardens.
Yeah, it's your diary. It's like a year and a half at Grey Gardens, right?
Well, it's not boring like a diary, though.
No,
You
it's
say
not.
diary, it sounds usually.
No, it's a
No, no.
memoir.
But you know
Memoir,
what?
memoir.
Your
You used to say
journals,
memoir.
your journals are
a journal.
just as good. The journals that you wrote. I love those journals. Remember we read from them?
Oh, yeah, so we read, what did we read?
We
Yes,
read a
I
couple
had
of
my old logbook here one
Oh,
day.
sure.
Yes,
Yes.
a
So
logbook's written from them.
I'd like to take those and make a book
Celia
out of it.
Maisel didn't take that with her yesterday. All my paintings.
I told you, don't let those go.
Photos and everything
No
are all in New
journals.
York. And do you know, Andrew wants to put this on the bus to New York all by itself and hope somebody will pick it up in New York City. He says he doesn't want to go into New
I'll
York
see.
City.
It gets wrapped up and it goes quietly underneath the bus. It doesn't get
I
rolled.
had
goes
something
quietly.
I had something put underneath that bus, and they left it off at another place, and had to go back and get it before they.
But you were going
get
to
me
Virginia.
these
You were going about 1,000
I
miles
was
away.
coming from Virginia.
All right, but this is only a 2-hour ride.
If
Well,
I
that's
had
nothing
a
to do with it.
Lois Wright
I'll go
original,
with it,
I
don't worry.
certainly wouldn't be putting it on the bus.
I'll find a way to go in.
Hardly. That's worse than putting a child on the bus. At least the child can talk.
I have a question about your paintings, Lois.
People send it.
When
Maybe
you
I'll send it
li-
by postal post
When
or
you lived
something,
at Grey
you know.
Gardens,
That's worse.
did you paint
That's worse.
the portraits when you were living there, or did you wait till?
A lot of them were painted while I was living
Oh.
there.
And little Edie loved it.
And then
Lois.
I
So you'd
painted,
sit there-
but I painted some after I was living there. And the reason why they're all sort of front face, all these paintings, is because Edie would always come up to you, very front face. And since I was painting from memory when I wasn't painting her there, and she was very particular how the painting came out. Once she said, you gave me a double chin, take that off, kiddo, or you're in trouble. But she always looked at you like this way.
That's so
The other
funny.
thing you should say, I want to mention is that a lot of people don't know this about you. You do these wonderful oceanscapes, which will be in your
that's
show,
what-
that are really collector's items extraordinaire. And they get the one, and she loved them, and even Jackie Kennedy loved them, right? Tell us about that.
Yes,
You have a
I
letter.
love them.
I have
too.
Two letters.
two letters that Rebecca Cooper framed
From the gallery.
from Edie, because one says that she put, two of them up, the ocean scenes, and that the cats felt much better and more at home now. She had some cats in their New York City apartment. It's a cute letter.
That's
way she wrote it.
adorable.
And the other one is that Jackie and Nancy Tuckerman were up there, and that they admired my ocean scenes.
They're
So
beautiful.
They are beautiful.
She's
Stunning.
has those. She'll have those in the
Yeah.
show in New York City. So it's April 29th.
And then 10
And the
days.
installation is the Sunday before Wednesday. You're going to be there, aren't you?
Yeah, I look forward to seeing it. Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
good.
In fact, she's going to interview you a little bit for the guy who's coming with the World Television, good news broadcast. She wants to talk to you and walk around with you a little bit, because he's going to put
Lena
that out.
and I are going too.
Lena?
Yeah.
Lena
From
who?
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, yes.
Yeah.
And also Ann Derby's coming from Alabama.
Oh, yeah?
Which is
Yes.
the relative on the Beale
Met
side.
her at Grey Gardens
I was
luncheon.
just looking at
She's on the
some
Beale side of the family.
photos from
Her
that luncheon.
Oh, her grandmother, Ann's grandmother, and little Edie's grandmother were sisters, and they were very close. So I love to hear that Southern accent. So
Yeah.
she's coming. She's already, she's quite old.
Right.
She already has her hotel and
Yeah.
called about RSVP, and she's going to go see Blythe Spirit too.
That's right, with Christine
While
Eversole.
she's in there.
Christine Eversole, we invited her to come over during the break on Wednesday, because they have the matinee, and then they have, so she may come over for a little bit to say hello to you
That would be nice. You can,
and get a photo up.
right.
So who else did you see at the party, Lois?
I'm
Over
not good at
over
recognizing.
Over at the party, the dinner party, I saw Christy Brinkley was
Christy
there.
Brinkley,
She's
right.
a fan of the movie. She really liked the Drew Barrymore's portrayal of Little Edie.
Well, it was
And
good.
she said it made her feel protective of Little Edie. You know, just her character was vulnerable, and she felt protective of her.
Right.
And she was like a real free spirit, and she really liked her. And then there was the cast of 60 Minutes was there, Steve Croft and Lynn Sher.
Right.
They were there?
Yeah, they were there.
Oh, I didn't
And
know
Dick
that.
Cavett was there. I'm trying to think of who else. Quite a lot of people.
I was talking
Paul
to
there,
him
Alex?
a while.
No. Alec Baldwin's brother Daniel plays
He's in the movie.
the love interest of Little Edie in the movie. And he did a great job. with that.
Has
He
Cap-
looks so much like Alec.
Cap Krug, is he
Cap
played
Krug.
Cap
Yes,
Krug?
he
Cap
does.
Krug.
I did a painting. He asked me to do a painting of Cap Krug.
Really?
At Grey Garden. She came in with a photograph, and she said he had passed on, but she said, "Will you please do Lois a portrait of?"
And did
Cap?"
you do one of him?
Yes, I have a picture of. I have lots of
Wow.
pictures, but I
Wow.
have a picture of her holding the painting.
Wow, that's great.
After I finished it. That's a very. What's that? Anything?
We're,
No, I
we're
was-
pushing on, my dear.
Huh? That's what I thought. How
You're gonna
much
show me.
time
Talking
do
about
we have?
raccoons.
Yeah,
Four
We only
seconds.
have a minute.
I found
Never
it.
mind.
He only has
we
a
only
minute.
have a minute and 4 seconds.
Show
It
us
goes
what
so
Andrew
quickly.
found.
Let's
Andrew has
a
little
minute and 4
surprise to show
seconds.
you.
Now you have less
My
than a
guest
minute.
here is Debbie Tuma, Joyce Whitby, Amy Salle, Andrew Wargo, and his raccoon. And I think I mentioned
From Grey
everybody. I
Garden.
want to thank everybody out there at the desks that are what do you call it, console, or that are controlling
head end.
the head end that are controlling 3 robot cameras. That's something. They really are amazing. So I want to thank everybody.
Good show.
Yeah,
Oh, and
I
don't
had
forget
less
to watch
time.
the screening of Grey Gardens, of course.
Oh, yes, at the
Saturday,
18th
8 o'clock.
at 8 o'clock
Saturday,
HBO.
8 o'clock, HBO. Fabulous.
They'll probably be repeating, too.
Oh,
I would
sure.
think so.
Plus it goes all over the world, 150 countries.
You think they'll make a big movie out of it?
Hopefully.
I hope so.
I think so.
No, with the technology, with a little more money, you can make it into a bigger, well, once you have the digital, you can do
Yeah.
everything.
Well, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
were
So what,
talking,
the
he was talking, but I mentioned everybody's name. But thanks again, Debbie Tuma.
You're welcome. Can we do a documentary?
No,
And I'll see you in New
Lee
York
Rasenwell,
on
the sister of
the-
Jackie,
Cheers.
wanted to
On
do
the
a
20
Cheer to your show.
documentary
Oh, yeah,
of all the
on the
family who lives in the
29th.
Hamptons. Which they were
Down
one
the
of them,
hatch.
part of it. And Peter Beard, who was
visit on
her
the
friend at the time,
29th.
he said, "You got to call the Maisel brothers." And that's how it
It's
started.
only from the
They
party.
went with all these people, and she never got the money together. And David and his brother said, "You know what? This is a film. We'll produce it
You can
ourselves."
stay and talk, or you don't have to run out of
Got
it.
it.
But I
And
mean,
the rest
that
is
big
history.
party,
And amazing,
that's
because,
very
all these years, and then the Broadway
Do
show,
some 6
right?
to 8, 6 to
Meanwhile,
8,
when the Broadway show
Debbie.
comes on,
Okay.
obviously, he
Episode
was
is
still
good.
working on it. He was doing his research. He was doing
Why?
research. 6 years, a long time to work on some project. So,
Right.
Took a job.
Oh.